Hey Rockstars, it's Jack here at 360 Fitness. Today I'm going to come at you with a video called Leveling Up Your Nutrition. So what I mean by leveling up your nutrition is that in the grand scheme of things, there's three big levels of nutrition kind of adherence and hierarchy. And we're going to be going over that today, but more importantly, what you need to accomplish before moving on to the next level. So I see a lot of times when people start a fitness and health journey, start a nutrition journey, whatever you want it to call it, they start at the wrong level. And you need to identify where you're at in life, where you're at in nutrition, kind of adherence and knowledge and accountability before you go on to the next level. Because if you don't, it becomes overwhelming very, very quickly. You can kind of burn yourself out. Your habits and your foundations aren't built. It's the same as building the second floor before you finish the first or even the basement set. You need to set those patterns and foundations and habits to fully go on to the next level. So in the big grand scheme of things, there's three main levels. Now you can break them down a million different ways, but there's three big levels, okay? So when we're talking about leveling up your nutrition, level one is all about whole foods, veggies, and proteins, and I'll go over this a bit more. Level two is calorie and actual food tracking, even talking about macros. And level three is very specific diet types, like paleo, intermittent fasting, Atkins, specific types. You know, usually they're more restrictive. Usually they identify with one pattern and eliminate another pattern. So let's go over level one. Level one is where everybody should start and everybody should go regress back to if they're starting over. So it doesn't mean that if you were level one in 2009 and level three by 2014, well, if you haven't tracked your nutrition and haven't started a fitness journey in a long time, you should go back to level one and start the process all the way through again. Okay, so level one is more or less just eating whole foods throughout the day, eating healthy, making sure that you're getting about 4 to 6 servings of vegetables a day, and making sure that you're getting 2 to 4 servings of protein a day. It seems simple, but it's not. You have to start there. So eating whole foods, making sure you're getting your veggie intake up, making sure that you're getting your protein intake up. Before you go to the next level, you have to accomplish all three things, but mainly you need to meal prep. Okay, so once or twice a week, prepping your meals in advance, preparing for success and not preparing for failure, and then following the 80-20 rule. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you're eating for quantity or calories or anything else like that. That shouldn't matter anymore as long as you're eating real food, whole food, and 80% of the time it's healthy, good, nutritious food. From level one to level two, we're hopping into the tracking level. Okay, so calorie and food tracking and macros if you wish. Macronutrients are the three main blocks, proteins, carbs, and fats. Okay, so those are macros. So for calorie and food tracking, this is what you need to accomplish before you go on to level three. You need to track your food and track your calories diligently, not just on the good days, for 30 days plus, and you need to hit your calorie goals 80% of the time. So this is when you need to know specifics for you, your body type, not body type, but your goals, your body composition, and your activity level. Usually taking your base metabolic rate and then throwing on an activity level on top of that to find out your daily calorie needs. Okay, so you can talk to your coach about this, you can do some online research, but you need to know how many calories you need on a day to hit your goal. Obviously going into a deficit for fat loss, a surplus for muscle gain and performance driven. Okay, so level two is tracking your calories and tracking your food and even your macros, making sure that you're tracking those guys, the proteins, fats, and carbs. Ratios aren't super big right now, just making sure that you're getting a nice balance. And tracking for 30 days plus and hitting your calorie goals for 80% of the time. Once you hit these guys, then and only then should we be hopping into level three. Okay? Once we eat real food, we eat veggies and protein on a regular basis, and we're eating 80-20. Once we track our food for 30 days plus, hit our calorie goals 80% of the time, then move on to diet types. I see a lot of times people try to skip all the fun stuff in advance and go right to level three and identify with the nutrition camp. I'm keto, I'm paleo, I'm Atkins, I'm high carb, low carb, high protein, low pro. It doesn't matter. They're trying to identify with a camp. Now, this is the sexy stuff. This is the stuff that gets clicks, sells magazines, and people write books about, because it's a nice, easy way to identify a tribe. It's a people that do a certain thing collectively all together, and you can identify it, and it's a commonality. It's kind of like talking about the weather. I'm keto, oh, so am I. I'm paleo. Oh, so am I. I'm high carb, low carb, blood type dieting, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on and on and on. There's a million diet types and they change names every 6 minutes, and there's going to be a new one in about 6 minutes, okay? So make note on this, guys. There's tons of diet types, but only after you've done level 1 and level 2 should you even be considering this. Now, diet types are not negative and not bad, but usually people are doing them for the wrong reasons. Diet types, some specific diet types, can really help people achieve their goals if they've covered all the bases and they're still missing gaps, okay? So by diet types, we're talking about like macronutrient ratios. So remember I was telling you here, macros, you just need to make sure you're getting all 3, proteins, carbs, and fats in a good blend. This would be where you're hitting 50% proteins, 20% this, 30% or 20% carbs, 30% fats, fiddling with the ratios, or doing 40-40-20 or 20-40, whatever else, right? So making sure that the macros are tracked on here. Other different types of diets are timing, so nutrient timing. This would be considered like intermittent fasting, where the time of the day is relative, or the frequency or the meal window is specific. And then talking about supplementation, you know, whether you're doing more or less nutrition supplements like meal gainers, mass gainers, fat burners, things that bring calories in versus calories out. These things happen at the very end. Other types of diets are like the anti-inflammatory diet, intermittent fasting like I talked about, keto, paleo, Atkins, all that stuff, okay? So they can work for certain people, especially if you have some, not like issues, but limitations or restrictions for your nutrition. So if you feel terrible and lethargic and inflamed off carbs, reducing the carbohydrate can help. If you feel lethargic and your belly always feels super full and you're bloated and you're gassy off high protein, going on to a low protein diet can help, but you need to establish those patterns. Okay, so don't go any diet types. Don't follow any certain hardcore restrictive style until you go through level 1 and level 2. And then the things that you can kind of test on level 3 before you need to go even more advanced is allergy testing, blood type testing, blood testing, and advanced journaling. Not just tracking your food and your calories, but also your mood and your mindset and your energy and your lifts and stuff for 30 to 60, even 90 days. Okay, so level 1, guys, whole foods, veggies, and proteins. Level 2, tracking your calories, tracking your food, and then making sure that you're hitting all your macros. And then level 3, diet types, timing, and advanced supplementation. Okay, so make sure that we're going from level 1 to level 2, level 3, and then any big break and pause in nutrition, go back up to level 1 and start fresh. Okay, guys, that's a lot of information. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, or if you have any issues about level 1, level 2, level 3, or where do you fit, shoot me a comment. I'll help you out. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.